Cicero, Oratio in Catilinam prima, episode 2. Nihil te nocturnum praesidium Pallati, nihil urbis vigiliae, nihil timor populi, nihil concursus bonordrum omnium, nihil hic munitissimus habendi senatus locus, nihil hordrum ordra vultusque moverant. This long and beautiful sentence depends for its effect on a rhetorical device, a trope called anaphora. That is, the repetition of a single word at the beginning of subsequent clauses. And as we can see, it is nihil, which here is being used repeatedly for rhetorical effect. Each one of these instances of nihil is to be construed adverbially. So then, nihil is an adverb, which we should take as something like not at all or in no way, something of that sort. Each one of these occurrences of nihil precedes a nominative subject: nihil praesidium, nihil vigiliae, nihil timor, nihil concursus, nihil locus, nihil ordra vultus. In each one of these instances, we can see that the placement of nihil with respect to the subject varies. Here, nihil and the subject praesidium are separated by 4 syllables. Here, nihil and vigiliae are separated by 2 syllables. Here, nihil and timor, the subject, are juxtaposed right next to each other, as in this instance, nihil concursus. Here, nihil and locus are separated by a great number of syllables, and here separated only by 3, and then a compound, ora and vultus, 2 nominatives there together. So then, to translate, did the nighttime guard nocturnum praesidium on the Palatine, did the urbis vigiliae, the watchmen of the city, did the fear of the people, did the coming together, the concord or the harmony of all good men, bonordrum omnium, did this very fortified location, senatus habendi, for the convening of the Senate, did the faces and expressions of these men, did they affect you, moverant, te, did they affect you not at all, nihil? The rhetorical impact of this sentence depends upon another trope or figure of speech called hyperbaton. All of these figures of speech were invented by the Greeks, nearly all of them, and thus they have Greek names. Hyperbaton is the dramatic separation of 2 words that normally are conceived together, namely the object te and the verb, of which it is the object, moverunt. Te is masculine, singular, and accusative. It's Catiline. Moverunt is a 3rd plural perfect, and it's from the 2nd conjugation verb moveo, movere. It's the 3rd principal part, movi. So, did each one of these things, the praesidium, the vigiliae, the timor, the concursus, the locus, the ordra, and vultus, didn't they have any impact on you whatsoever, nihil, etc.? We should also note the frequent repetition of the genitive in different ways. Pallati is a genitive dependent on praesidium. Urbis is a genitive dependent on vigiliae. Notice how Pallati, the genitive, follows praesidium, but urbis comes before. Populi is a genitive dependent on timor, and the effect is to juxtapose vigiliae and timor. Concursus has 2 genitives dependent on it, bonordrum and omnium, and locus, the delayed subject, modified by munitissimus, also has a genitive, namely habendi senatus. Habendi senatus, these are both masculine, singular, and genitive. Senatus is a 4th declension noun. Habendi is a verbal adjective, passive voice, the gerundive. The Romans preferred the passive voice, or the passive voice was preferred by the Romans, and so we would say the place for the Senate to be convened. That would be a somewhat wooden or awkward translation. And finally, hordrum is the genitive with ordra and vultusque, and it refers to these men, hearkening back to bonorum and omnium from a previous portion. Bonorum omnium, all of the good citizens. These are hordrum, their faces and expressions.